What's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate business into a life of freedom, and listen to Greg hit his desk and make loud noises into the microphone. This is going to be a fun show today. It's another edition of the East Coast, West Coast Smackdown. We have Greg and me on the West Coast. We have Gene Volpe, the evil bald ninja himself, and Andy Scherer of Pillar 9 Coaching on the East Coast, representing not just the East Coast, but Philadelphia specifically. I fully expect to see both of them running up very long flights of stairs any moment now during the opening of the show. Guys, get on that. Feel free to do that. First of all, everybody, welcome. Greg, welcome to the show.
Matt, thank you. I love being here as always. That's why I show up 3 days a week to hang out with your monkey butt and our amazingly awesome guests that we're going to have today. Dude, I got to tell you, so I was watching the Social Media Examiner show that I always do at 10 o'clock Pacific on Fridays. And Instagram, guys, Instagram is coming out. They just came out with a new update, right? And when you guys are doing your stories and such, you know, when you're going to Insta and you go up to, whoops, I just kind of killed it right there. And you go up to your camera button up here, and you guys are listening, can't hear that. Go to the upper left of your camera. You're going to click on it. You're going to have this little row of things that you can select. The new one is Focus. It's going to be right there. Focus is now what the feature is that like the iPhone X or 10 has, and some other ones where it goes into portrait mode, and it'll focus in on you and blur out the background. So for photos and for videos, so all of us guys who epically suck at taking photos and videos, we can now be front and center, and it makes us look amazing. You don't have to buy a new phone. So really cool shit. Yeah.
Greg, how will this impact my shirtless selfies? I'm very concerned about this. Will they make them look better, more magnificent and resplendent?
Could they possibly look better?
I think I just threw up in my mouth. Just
shirtless selfie.
All right, well, let's talk about that a little bit, because we've got a marketing master here with us, Gene Volpe. We've got Andy Scherer. Let's talk about the some of the latest things that are going on with Facebook, because we've all noticed, at least as of right now, this is April of 2018 ? April, and we're noticing view counts go down on Facebook Live and things like that. So Gene, let's start with you and what you're seeing, because you are the back end of a lot of top agents' essential online exposure plan, right? So it's your team that's executing a lot of this stuff behind the scenes, and you're doing Facebook ads and videos and slicing and dicing content everywhere you go, like a mad, evil, genius chef in the back of a restaurant. So what are you seeing?
That scares me. I don't want to know if I want to eat at a restaurant that has a mad, evil
with you
chef.
chopping.
Yeah, I don't know. Especially with the machetes and the knives and all those things.
Sharp objects and Gene.
So, and by the way, Greg, that new focus filter on your Instagram doesn't make you look any better. That's just me.
Hey.
So, as a side note.
Man.
So
last Friday it was, I have mold and water in my basement, and now I just don't look any better with any technology.
I forgot about that. Oh, the metaphor of Greg. He has mold and water in the basement.
His moral compass is facing south. So, and now this week it's shirtless selfies. I love it. So I'm hearing like there's a little bit of clamoring because I think people are nervous. You know, certainly I think it's interesting that everybody already knew that they were taking all of your data. And all of a sudden it's a concern because somebody found out that it actually includes your sister-in-law's cell phone number. Like, I don't understand what the difference is. Everybody knew, you know this going in, that they have your data. I guess it's the amount that scares people. You know, I have people saying, should I pull back advertising? Should I pull back this? Should I pull back that? You know, in my neck of the woods, they recently changed MLSs. And so they knew for a while that the one local MLS was going to get sold to another one and merged. And I said to them, would you have stopped using your MLS at the thought that it might change? It's a tool you use. There's nothing that you should do to alter that tool today except keep your eye on it and keep your ear to the ground to let you know something. Listen, things are going to change. There's no question. But what I would offer to you is that Facebook is a, $20 billion a year business. It's not going to overnight go away. And there's a reason for that. So I would say just hunker down. There's going to be a new opportunity created as this kind of unfolds. Keep your eye open for that. But as of right now, hold the course.
You know, Gene, what we were talking about off air is that I'm getting more and more into Instagram stories. and I treat my day as like a book, and each part of my day is a different chapter, and I try to document them. I don't do a great job, but I'm getting better at it, and I'm getting much, much, much more engagement, viewership, and everything else on Instagram stories than I am from anything else.
So it's interesting, Greg. I think, and I've been doing a lot of speaking lately, and interestingly enough, 6 months ago, this question never came up, but I've been getting asked more often. In your opinion, what do you think the next platform is? And while I don't think Instagram is the next platform because it is the current platform, I do believe it's going to have a better stronghold. I think it was a pretty slick buy from Zuckerberg's perspective because it's almost like Facebook is crumbling and they're stealing all your information. And by the way, let's use Instagram. Well, Instagram's owned by Facebook, which is an interesting conundrum, right? But the eyeballs are shifting to Instagram, and Zuckerberg has a new play, and they're competing with Snapchat, which I think has made some missteps with advertising and different things in the last couple of weeks. I think if you're really nervous about Facebook and you're like, I'm jumping ship, if I was jumping ship, it would be right to Instagram, which happens to be owned by Facebook.
Yeah, he got hammered in the Senate hearings about that. One senator was coming after him going like, why'd you buy Instagram? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Do you think you're a monopoly? I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. And it's just like, he is like old as dirt. I'm like, look, fucker. I mean, do you even know what Instagram is, sir?
About that.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know you don't use
Instagram.
No.
Well, listen, I challenge you,
Instagram.
I challenge you, Senator, to log on to Facebook while I'm watching, and if you can, I'll answer your questions.
His responses were friggin' priceless.
They were good, right?
And he's like, "No, Senator, I would." I'm like, "Oh, you want a smart-ass comment? Come on."
Yes.
Come on.
Well, he did. If you saw, there was one that I caught that I thought was great, and the guy was like, "How do you make money?" And he was like, "We sell ads."
Yes.
And it was very like,
I got that. I heard that one. I'm like,
that?
Nice.
He was like, duh, what are we here for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sell ads, jackass.
Wait, so I want to tell you one thing, actually. I found this to be extremely interesting, and I find there's two things that came out this week, and I'm hearing nothing on them, and I want to bring them up. I want to bring up the first one because I think the second one might dovetail the conversation. The first one is he said that they have your data. Facebook has your data, even if you don't have an account.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, they scrape everything. Any keystroke that you ever put anywhere on the internet is stored. Every one of us have a number associated with us. Yeah. Any site you visited is in our file.
Yeah, but don't you think, Greg, that that's where the issue lies, right? Because when I sign up for Facebook, I willingly agree, whether I read it or not, that I'm giving you access to the keys to the kingdom. If I don't sign up for your service, then I would say to you, no, you don't get to have my information, right?
Yeah.
Facebook.
Right, but I mean, if you're going to go to a Disney's website or Pornhub, I mean, that's a decision you're making. I mean, and that goes back to, speaking of Pornhub, read the book Big Data. Andy's dying. Andy is dying right now. Well, seriously,
Speaking of missing things in life.
But the book is called Everybody Lies.
Everybody Lies, and talks about big data and the shit that we will type into this little thing or into your desktop that you won't tell anybody else. But I think you're right. I mean, if we make it a conscious decision to type in something to somewhere, that's a decision we're making to put information or an interest or a thought out into the great ether. So that's our choice.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you're missing an important element here. Because I agree with you. And listen, I've signed off all my personal rights to the internet. I get it. I make money on it. I'm okay with it, right? Yeah. I take the security off my phone with my fingerprint. I'd be an idiot to think that they're not storing my fingerprint. Apple's got the new face recognition where it unlocks your phone.
Face.
They're scanning your face, dude, and that's why your Apple doesn't work the right way, Drew, because it breaks every time it scans your face.
It's a Samsung, please. Oh. The Note 8. Okay.
I sense some infighting in the East Coast.
I take that back.
We're gonna let you guys implode.
I take that back. But again, Greg. Facebook is using my information to make money off advertising when I didn't give them the right by visiting their site and giving my information. Like, I'm okay with that. I think that's where the issue lies.
They're buying data up, or they have access to other forms of data that have to do with just our browsing habits that are linked to IP addresses, I'm assuming, right?
Mm-hmm. Amongst many other things.
Which is fine. Yeah, which is fine. I mean, the bottom line is that they buy it, the information's available, and they're buying it, and they're doing something with. Like, we get it. Like, I think everybody under the age of, let's say, I think 40, maybe 45, is probably relatively comfortable with that. I think once you get at that, at least right now, that age seems to be the cutoff of people that are uncomfortable to the point that it delayed them signing up for Facebook. They're uncomfortable paying for things online. They're uncomfortable going to Amazon and buying. Like, it's taken them a while to get comfortable with those things.
Crypto
now they're
trading
getting
was a foreign
comfortable.
language.
But this is the last. I feel like this is the last, part of that. All the squabbles over data and what they're doing.
But what people don't understand is that my family, my brother and my dad, they have a high technology company, and it's a predictive analytics company. They buy data sets that would drown a freaking tanker ship on each one of us. They use thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of variables to do what they do on each one of us when they're analyzing who's the most likely person to be selling. So, I mean, and that, they can buy that shit. It is just out there. And you can select what sets you want and what you don't want. I mean, the whole privacy thing, sorry, Home Skillet, that ship sailed a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you know what? Every time you walk down the street, you're being videotaped on security cameras everywhere you go. Yeah. People are recording you on other social media captions as you walk past them when they're filming something. Dude, you're all over the place. So privacy, unless you live in the woods with, you shit next to a tree and you have no running water or power, then you're not being filmed, except for the NSA that's above you. Then they'll get you too. So.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
The movie The Circle. Have you seen that?
Huh?
No.
The Circle?
Is it a movie?
Yeah. I think it's a Netflix movie.
I shall watch.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. What is it?
So it's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, basically, it has the cameras have face recognition, everything else like security cameras, and you could actually locate. It got to the point where you could actually locate someone that you haven't spoken with in like 10 years in a matter of like 35 seconds.
Wow, that's scary. So you guys have seen on one of these other shows we're going to do it, but have you tapped into your Gmail where Google has the timeline, your search history, where you've been, all this stuff? I got a chance a couple weeks ago to look into my timeline, and I just kind of was looking around the map, and Matt, I noticed that there was a little red dot out in the San Diego area, and so I drilled down, and it had basically every piece of information on me from when I visited there in 2013. So I was out there in 2013, listen, I can show it to you, and actually, it's so crazy, I'm going to convert this into a plan where I help parents understand how to track their kids at a younger age. But I can actually, I'm serious, and I don't mean that from an exploitation perspective, but if you're watching your 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old, and they have a phone and you want to see what they're doing, there's ways to do it. So I'm going to take that data and use it for good stuff. But I think here's the thing. People know what's going on, but when you actually physically see it and are reminded of how much it is, then it's like, whoa, wait a minute, I didn't authorize all that. I think that's the shakeup is that it's back in the forefront and people are actually taking time to look at it. And it's scary, but only for 10 seconds, right?
Yeah.
I agree. And I think part of the problem is, too, it's like, yeah, well, and there's another company involved, right? So, I mean, this is a good lesson in marketing because Facebook has built up a certain level of trust to where we kind of turn a blind eye to Facebook having the data because, well, it's Facebook. Well, then Facebook opens up its API and we find out this other company that most of us have never heard of, they have our data. All of a sudden, that's a big deal, as if there's a difference.
Right. Well, do you guys ever wonder why Obama visited Zuckerberg so many effing times? I mean, it was ridiculous. And, there's been rumors that NSA, FBI, CIA have all, brought back a lot of their surveillance. Fuck, just go to Facebook. Boom. Everyone who talks about this, here's your cluster set. Go find the fuckhead. That's what it really is.
Well, it makes sense. You can't blame them for it. I mean, if I'm running some kind of recon mission or some security thing, or I'm looking for
I could see
murderer,
you doing that.
Right? Why wouldn't you go and exhaust the resources? I mean, I would at least ask the question. Facebook might be saying, no way, we're not giving it to you. But wait, you said something snide there. I think I missed it.
He did. I love it.
I see it in his face. I see the smirk, and I missed something.
Well, I mean, I like I said, I really could. Like, I could see you doing that recon mission, the
me.
Volpenator, the evil ninja, recon.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, spying on you guys right now.
Dude, who doesn't Facebook stalk? You get a name, if I get a name of someone, I'm instantly on Facebook going, who are you? Yeah, it's not you, not you. That's probably you. Click. Photos, posts. I mean, hell yeah, I want to get to know who I'm going to be talking to or who I am talking to. Gene and I were talking about an individual in pre-show, and I'm like, oh, thanks for telling me this individual's name. Got on there, sent the, we were able to come to a conclusion on a question we were talking about, and it was all because we Facebook stalked. I mean, we all do it, and if you say you don't, you're a fucking liar. All of us do it, especially you girls.
We're going to talk about that. We also might want to talk about the new NAR logo, which has created quite a little interesting firestorm. Greg, what say you on the topic?
I think people need to find more time doing something better with their lives than worrying about
designing new logos, talking about new logos.
Anything of the above. It's so stupid. Look, they spent $250,000 on making the flat R into a two-dimensional R and slightly rotating it. Go back
if you
to
wear
work.
glasses, Greg, you got 3D. So
see, now, and that's why I like it so much.
That's right. If you look at it with 3D glasses, the R slaps you in the face.
Quit being stupid.
I want to put it out there. I'll do logos. If anybody from NAR is listening, I'll do it for you for $199,000.
See, bargain, deal.
Like
the man knows how to negotiate.
Yes. I love what we're talking to pre-show about the fact that as an industry, agents tend to be lazy, cheap, and paranoid, but apparently not in large groups. Apparently in large groups, we have lots of money to blow on ridiculous things. I don't know why that is, but in groups, in packs, we can splurge on marketing, but not the right kind of marketing,
yes.
which is interesting. I was talking about this with Michael Fido, who's been on the show before. He's a luxury agent, and he was the one that was sharing with me about the logo and just how much it's caused this firestorm. So he's seeing a lot of chatter about it. Anyway, point being, you've got two companies that just did major rebrandings. Remax just rebranded last year or something, did a whole new logo. NAR and Century 21, right? So all these companies are rebranding, and he and I were just chatting and chuckling about the fact that none of these are really linked to, with the exception of maybe Century 21, we're still learning what their point of view in the market is and going to be because their CEO is so new to the job. But there's really not does NAR have a new point of view? Do they have something new to say? No. I mean, that really is the problem here. And we as agents make that same mistake. We believe that things like rebranding our website, coming up with the perfect logo color on our business cards are going to make a difference when we really have nothing new to say to the market. And to me, it all ends up just being lipstick on a pig.
I have lots of new things to say, damn it. I always have new things to say, Johnson.
Love that.
You offend me.
And Matt, for what it's worth, dude, I agree with you. And I don't know if you guys remember, because now almost every YMCA has a brand new logo at this point in time. So the rebranding of the Y, essentially,
okay.
The YMCA went and basically removed the MCA from their logo, went just to the Y.
We can't have men's Christian order. You literally can't have two of those four words in any organization in the 21st century.
Yeah. By the way, in off show, I'll go through stories of my former life in the YMCA. But anyway, so.
Have anything to do with the story the priest you shared earlier?
Not personally, but it may. No, so okay. What they ended up doing, similar to what you said, they basically recrafted the message and said, we aren't just a young men's Christian association. It's much, much more than that. And their message changed. How they delivered the message changed. How they marketed that message changed. Everything about them putting themselves out there, everything altered. I can't see that with NAR. It's just not going to happen. So it's oh yeah, let's have some fun with the $250,000 worth of association dues. Ready, set, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yes, somebody got really wined and somebody got really wined and really dined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His brother-in-law needed a job. One of the two.
Well,
Bear with me. They're in the pot. Hey, realtors, you need to do something better with your $250K.
So let's talk about that then. Let's talk about where are we epically dropping the ball in our own lives? We've already assumed that major companies are dropping the ball. Our association is dropping the ball. So where are we dropping the ball in our job, in our lives? So Gene, Andy, what are you seeing in your coaching clients? Where do you, no names, no specifics, but what are you seeing in generalities? Damn it! I was going to throw Bob from Remax under the bus. Yet again, that bastard. But what are you seeing? Where's the fallout in Q1? Where are people screwing up?
Well, and just to be clear too, so with Pillar 9, so I believe that there's essentially 9 pillars, right? You have faith and spirituality, and this is where people are like, what? So yeah, faith and spirituality, family relationships, health, education, mindset, business, finances, lifestyle, personal. In that order is like how I look at that, right? So yeah, guess what? Business falls all the way down to that fourth, fifth rung, in my opinion. Because so where people lose it, honestly, is first quarter. It's I'm too busy, so I can't keep working out, or I'm too busy, so I can't read, or honestly.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic, pal. The reading thing. Be easy on the reading thing. Okay.
All right, audiobook. Just saying.
Just saying.
But it's really more so having clarity of what their schedules look like, because they feel like they're busy. But in all reality, and in fact, I have a few people right now walking through just time journaling, understanding what they're doing each and every single day, and we're doing it in 30-minute intervals, and making sure that they're just staying really bullet pointed. You know, I checked email, I was on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, but understanding what that 30-minute time block. I can tell you that just in the past few days that these folks have been working through. I mean, the comments that they're saying, you know, I'm so much more productive just because there's a level of self accountability. Not necessarily even that I'm holding them accountable, but there's a level of self accountability and almost calling themselves out. And one person in particular said, you know, I have a hard time even being honest with myself with what I did for that half hour.
Huh. That's interesting. I've been falling into that trap myself. I will move a stack of paper from here to here, back to here, back to here, and that was a busy day. You know? Yeah. And it's sometimes how do you get out of that rut? A lot of us do that. I mean, so how do you get out of that rut?
A lot of us don't know that we're actually there. Right. So a lot of us, honestly, like, and it's just the status quo. We're doing the norm. We think that just because, hey, you know, I'm making my 2 to 3 hours of prospecting every single day, and the market shifts. Things shift. Your health shifts with age. God help me. I'm not the same that I was when I was 20 playing in college. Like, it just wasn't not the same. You know, so either I have to do more, I have to adjust, or I have to make alterations. But in order to do that, I actually have to measure it and have awareness behind it. So I think there's a lot of things that are going on. And again, I think really that one of the keys is that there is no awareness behind what they're actually doing. Because either they're seeing results, or if they're not seeing results, they don't know what to switch or how to even switch it. So it's more so, honestly, I think the awareness behind it.
So Hank Avik is here. Hank, the Tank, another phenomenal coach. I mean,
Hank, what's up, buddy?
We got some masterminds hanging out with us here on the show. But I mean, one of the things, Andy, that I've done is that I have become very aware of where I have time gaps or where I can double down on things. And so I keep my running shoes right here next to my desk. Whenever this thing rings, I put in my earbuds and I go for a walk. Oh, what are you air quoting, Johnson?
Running.
Running. I don't know if you can call it
walking shoes.
It's a walk.
I've blown out my knees. I've blown out both of my knees, so I don't run. I walk. I'm a 49-year-old fucking old
Can I ask you, do you power walk?
Fuck no, dude. That takes way too much energy. God, no, dude. Are you seriously? I mean, whew. I just start sweating thinking about this.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's very attractive.
Yeah. Heel toe.
70-year-old
retirees love that power walk look.
It's easy on the knees.
It's nice lisp. But the point is that like I feel in the different times of my life when I wasn't doing something productive with productivity. And I'm constantly moving. And I was looking at myself in the with Matt's comment, selfless, shirtless selfies. I just got out of the shower, checked myself out. I'm like, damn, homie, you're losing some weight. This is feeling good because I'm putting action in and then getting my results. Then my results affect my beliefs.
Did you Insta that as well?
Huh? Just to you, buddy.
Sliding in his DM.
Oh, yeah. But I think Greg should start airing them as Instagram stories.
Oh God, they want to talk about viewership drop off. Oh Christ.
Yeah.
I already have enough problem with viewer drop off. But I mean, Andy, are you helping people fill the gaps in their days? Because I was very aware of the time that I was doing something stupid, just sitting here talking on the phone, not doing anything productive, just sitting here, or not making the phone calls because I was putting it off. I mean, I became self-aware, but I love your idea of the time journal. That is something that I'm really going to get into. And by the time you come on next, I'll probably be a lot more aware of exactly how much time I am wasting.
I would say just do it for a week, man.
Oh yeah, it's gonna scare the shit out of me.
If you can, when you do this for a week, like straight up. The first time that I did this, it was like a slap in the face, guys. Like I looked at it, I was like, wait, so I check email, how much? And it's just such awareness when you actually do that. When you set alarms in your calendar that you're gonna journal what you actually did for, and I'm talking like really simple, just bullet point out. I did Voxer for 5 minutes. All of my coaching clients are on Voxer, so I Voxered for 5 minutes. I returned a call for 5 minutes. I did email for 10 minutes. I worked on my Ascension to Peak program for 10 minutes. Like that was my half hour, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, where was the other 2 minutes? What exactly happened? But a lot of the time, though, too, you'll find yourself just doing busy work and not necessarily doing the things that truly matter, right? So what a lot of people, fail to understand is that you're essentially negotiating for time every single day. Mm-hmm. Like that time, you're essentially investing it, and you have to make those negotiations. And I'm not willing to sit there and settle and not do anything during that 30 minutes. Like it has to be specific with what I'm doing. So to answer your question, am I helping them fill their day? No, I'm helping them understand what they need to do to fill their day. Yeah. So, we're sitting there making assessments based on, hey, how much time are you actually spending with your family? Really, how much time? And not only that, but the time that you are spending, are you actually engaged? Or are you sitting there on your phone and just flipping through, right?
Right.
The time that you spend in education. If you're making excuses, guys, for what it's worth, if you're making excuses that you can't read or you can't be on Audible or you can't do a podcast or listen to something for 30 minutes out of the day, you're freaking lying to yourself. Yeah. You're just straight up lying to yourself. You can find 30 minutes somewhere, some way, and if you're not spending time in education, what the hell are you doing? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're for the most part, everyone who's listened to the show, you're a professional real estate agent. Like professionals practice. If you don't have time in the day to practice, you're freaking missing it. Sorry, you're missing it.
I think that's a good way of putting it because, we have such a low barrier of entry into the business. Sometimes you forget it's actually a professional career. It's more of us just out there playing with buyers and sellers and pretty listing presentations and what a nice staging job and all this stuff. When in reality, this is your career. This is what you do for a living. Mm-hmm. Treat it as work in the business, work on the business every single day. In the business, listing presentations, buyers, showings, everything else. On the business, education. When you're driving to the listing appointment, listen to our podcast or listen to a book on tape. Listen to something. Get smarter. Don't listen to Matt's favorite music, Britney Spears, and rock out Baby One More Time when you don't need that. You get an educational book. Damn it, I got no reaction from Johnson. That was no fun.
Are you listening to that?
That was no fun.
Just hang on. I have a very valuable
his favorite
comment.
Swift to Taylor Swift. It's not Britney Spears anymore.
Oh,
that's
sorry.
why he didn't react.
God, I know. I got that. TF. Sorry.
I'm just saying. There are some forms of music that are very enjoyable when they are muted. Carrie Underwood, delightful. Taylor Swift, fantastic. I'm all good with the music videos as long as I don't have to actually listen to the music.
Matt's favorite muted song, Jesus Take the Wheel.
Yeah, that's right. I love it. You want to hear something funny?
If I have to listen to it, Jesus will take the wheel, and he will steer me off of a cliff.
Right off the cliff. So have you guys, listen, I just want to tell you real quick because it's off the side, but it's more pertaining to these two topics. When I do these presentations, sometimes I'll show people my internet history, which is a risky business, especially when I pull it up live. And when I do my YouTube views, the first one that always shows up is the Britney Spears. Have you seen the video where there's no music? It's somebody overdubbed it, and it's just her in the red leather suit, and it's all you hear is her singing, and it's squeaking. No. You know what I'm talking about? And people are like, why are you watching Britney Spears videos? And I'm like, there's actually a really good reason for that. It's hilarious.
So you're telling me you're into red leather tight fitting suits.
Unlikely story that it's funny.
And Britney Spears and other things. But no, I'm not telling you any of that.
So besides watching that, Gene, what area, what pillar of your life are you neglecting, dropping the ball on right now?
So, Andy, could you go through that list of 9 again for me, please?
Faith and spirituality.
Yep.
Family and relationships. Okay. Education.
Yep.
Health. Mindset. Business. finances, lifestyle, overarching personal. He's like, yeah, I got it. Got it.
That's
okay,
no,
cool.
no. What I'm saying is he just listed them for me. You asked me the question, where am I lacking? There you go. So but truth be told, I mean, I think that for sure I could pick out something I could be doing better at every single one of those pillars, right? There's no question. I think right now I gotta, and again, this is one of those that hit me in the face. Right now it's, my finances, but more importantly than that is my health. And so over the holidays, I actually let it slide a little bit. I put on 10 pounds or whatever it is. I get to the doctors, my blood pressure's still high, my cholesterol's high, and she's like, listen, dude, you're an old man. You got to step back, start cutting the red meat, start doing, you got to get to the gym more, And I always feel like I'm at a decent place when it comes to I've learned how to eat properly, and I know how my body's affected when I don't eat the right way, when I don't hit the gym. But it's so much easier to drink a gallon of wine and eat cheesesteaks, Oh
God, yeah.
And so, and the problem I think the problem that I have is that once I go down that slippery slope, it just keeps going down. It's so easy to fall off the wagon, but hard to get back on. So, for me, my health and fitness, what I'm doing late at night, what I'm doing in the morning and during the day, from a dietary perspective and a training perspective, completely controls those 9 other pillars. And I've only recently learned that. So when I'm lacking on my health and fitness, everything else suffers. When my health and fitness is top and I'm doing as good as I can do, everything else flourishes. And I think that to me is like the top of, if you were to ask me to list the pillars right now, number 1 is health.
I felt the same way. Over the holidays, it was no secret. I got really, really sick for the second fucking year in a row, which I'm now taking concerted efforts towards. I'm eating really healthy breakfasts. We're eating a lot of leaner meats, a lot more salads. I'm doing green drinks. I'm doing all these antioxidants. I'm out there walking, because this is what forced my hand on that, Gene, is the fact that all my custom shirts that I paid $180, $200 for, and they're custom fit for the thin Greg, not the muffin top Greg. And it doesn't feel good. And I'll share this with you guys. This is the worst fucking moment. I come out of the bank. I plop down into my when I had the Benz, and one of the buttons on my shirt goes, blows right off. I'm like, fuck. This has got to change.
And then he had to call Safe Light Glass and Repair to fix the windshield, right?
Repairs.
It's like, sir, I've never seen a windshield get dinged from the inside. Like, how did a rock enter your sunroof and bounce off of the seat and ricochet into the no.
No, I just got fat. I just got fat. Yeah. So that was one of those deciding moments. I'm like, that's it, because you have to have a huge why behind anything that you're going to change. Would you guys all agree with me on that? Yeah. And being so uncomfortable in these shirts, both feeling that I looked like a muffin man walking down the street, but also just internally. Then everything else started cascading down around me, because my mental self-worth had hit the shitter. And so then I went back and said, okay, how do I fix this? Okay, well, I got to change this, and this in my life. And I started doing these different actions, because I was not going to be the fat kid in school. It just drives me nuts. So I took massive action. And Andrew, Andy, I think that what you're seeing with your people is that they're seeing that uncomfortable part of life, and they're like, I'm going to take massive action to correct this. But I think all of us need to hit that point, because we can be talking heads here all day long about take action, do this, these are your pillars, blah blah blah. But until that person has that interpersonal experience of like, this really sucks, the pain is greater than just hiding it, because we all live the lowest common denominator of what we accept, and that's the worst thing to ever understand.
Yeah, one of the, and I don't know if anybody, Jim Rohn, I consider him one of my mentors. I've read, listened to everything that he's been put out there that I can find, at least, to the point where I bought, great book, by the way, Leading an Inspired Life is a phenomenal book. So one of his audios that he put out there was the greatest day in your life is when you say enough is enough. That is the turning point of your entire life. As soon as you get that level of disgust and you say enough is enough, that's when things start to shift. Yeah. So people don't, you don't have to hit that proverbial rock bottom. Like, you don't have to hit bankruptcy. You don't have to be foreclosed on. You just have to reach that point with whatever that is where enough is enough.
Mm-hmm. I've hit both of those. Both of those really suck, by the way. Yeah. Amy's like, me too.
You know what, I want to give Andy a plug here because I think for me, and I don't think for me, I know for me, it's real difficult to figure out that you're at a bad spot when you think it's normal. So let me tell you what I mean by that. When I was 215 pounds, and my blood pressure was high, that was normal for me. I just felt like I felt the way I should physically, right? And my brain operated the way that it should. And when my 7-year-old sat me down and said, Dad, you're going to be at my wedding, right? And of course I answered her, yeah. And then I had to rethink it because I was like, with this blood pressure and this weight and me being stagnant, I really don't know if I'm going to be at her wedding in 15 years or whatever. I had to reevaluate. But the biggest point for me came, that was huge. But the next part about it was when I actually dropped those 35 pounds, I felt like Superman. I didn't realize how shitty I felt at 215. I just thought it was normal. And so now that I look back and I think I hit my high point thinking it was normal, and when I put some effort into it and realized how good I should really feel, that 215 now became something that I would never, ever do again because of how crappy I felt and how in the hole I was. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
100%.
And so I guess sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Andy, but it's important. That's why I want to give you the plug. I needed somebody to help me with that. And that's why looking at what you're talking about, Andy, if people are listening, sometimes the call out to Andrew for the 9 pillars just to discuss might help you realize stuff about yourself that you didn't know and get you on a better trajectory. So get a coach, I guess is my point.
So so what's interesting, if you guys heard the story about the Christmas ham, have you heard this before?
No.
Not until today.
John, I love Matt's face. I was like, where is this going?
That's like, I love ham. I love ham.
Well, I do love Christmas ham. Actually, my sister makes it every year. I know Gene's got to go, though, because he's got a hard out. So, Gene, we appreciate it. And where do people connect with you?
I want to, well, GeneVolpe. Do it now. You still owe me a jingle. I love it.
I know I do.
That was great. But I'm going to stick around until I hear the Christmas ham story, and then I'm just going to bail. Okay. So thank you, boys. It was a great week.
Yeah, man, as always. Buddy. By the way, Gene, I think that you were up in my area yesterday, and I'm a little bit with Dave White. So
I was, dude. Well, how come you weren't there to see me?
I saw the tag in the Facebook post. I was like, where? Seriously? Anyway.
All right, so we're gonna connect because that was actually I got a couple events coming up that way in the next couple of weeks. So let's figure out if we can slide some time in.
Well, you guys are coming to our Detroit event. We'll give you guys more details about that. But we're bringing Glenn Twiddle, Naomi. We're bringing them from Australia. We're doing a big event in Detroit, in Michigan area sometime later this year. So if you guys can make it up, it'll be a lot of fun.
Awesome. I'll tell you what, and I'm coming out your way too because I'll be in Scottsdale in October.
No, that's not really my way. But at least you're in my hemisphere.
Yeah, it's that way. It's going left.
All right.
Anyway,
ham me.
Yeah.
Ham story.
Ham you. All right. So basically, husband and wife, right? They're sitting there cooking their Christmas ham, and the wife takes the ham and she cuts off both sides of the ham, and then puts it in the oven. The husband goes, what? Why exactly are you? You've heard this before.
I love this story, but I'm not going to ruin it. I love this story.
Yeah. So why exactly are you cutting off the sides of the ham? And she's like, because that's what my mom used to do. And then she went to, and they basically asked the mom at that point in time. They're like, why exactly did you always cut off the two ends of the ham? And they're like, well, it's what my mom used to do. They went to the grandmother. The grandmother said, and they said the same thing to the grandmother. Why did you start cutting off the two ends of the ham? And she goes, because my cooking plate was too small. It wouldn't hold the entire ham, so I had to cut off both sides of it to put it in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's shit that we do just because we always have done it. And not only that, but it's also societal too. It's because society deems that as like the norm. I mean, talk about people. You'll sign up for different coaching programs or whatever else, whether it's health or business, and just stick to business and real estate coaching and training right now. You sign up for specific programs. They tell you exactly what that regimen is. You're supposed to hit 2 to 3 hours of cold calling and dialing, and no matter what, just keep going. Just keep your head down, keep grinding, keep working, whatever. That may not be the best business model for you. So why aren't you questioning it? With regard to your health. Like right now, I'm stagnant, guys. I'm 37 pounds down from when I actually started back in June last year. And and I'm stagnant right now. Like I shift 2 pounds up and down every single week. I'm not moving. That means that I have to shift things up. I can't keep doing the same thing and get the same results and expect to be better. It makes no sense. So just doing things just to do things because you've always done them that way is pretty not smart.
Asinine. Pretty asinine. Because that is the definition of stupid in my opinion, because you're like, I'm just going to keep drinking diet soda. I'm going to go to McDonald's once, not twice every day, and I'm going to be a fitness model in 6 months. Yeah, no, sorry, sweetie. Good thinking, but that's not going to work out. You have to take massive action. Completely retool yourself. All of us, have every ounce of potential to be everything that we ever want to be. But what happens now, if we have all the potential in the world, we shift over to our actions. Our actions that's the engine of our change. That drops down to what our results are going to be. And now, at the results part of this whole thought pattern, this is where your gas comes in. Because you'll step on the gas as soon as you see results, swing over to your belief section of your brain, and it'll show you, oh my God, see, I knew I could do this. I'm a rock star. But on the flip side, it does the exact opposite. If you have the potential, but you take little to low action, you will get little to low results, which will then reinforce your belief system of, see, I told you I couldn't do it. And then you stay stagnant right where you are, and you don't move forward. So what is that thing? If you're fucking up really badly right now, and you know it, we don't want to admit it to anybody, you have to take massive action immediately. You'll get massive results. You will then reinforce your belief systems that you had the potential to begin with. And it's so weird when that simple little 4-box theory can change any part of your life, but we don't want to be honest with ourselves to take the first step in taking action. Having that hard conversation, putting down the cake or the beer or picking up a book or going for a walk. What is that thing you need to take massive action on to get that massive result? And I mean, it's baffling. I mean, Andy, you were saying that like the outline plan is everywhere. All we have to do is figure out which one works for us and then go. And that's it.
Yeah.
But why don't we do it? Why don't we do it? Why is that such a sticking point for everyone around?
Well, my opinion, I think they don't want to hear the truth.
Good point.
I think we as a society, listen, we're one of the basic human flaws is that we're meant to be comfortable. We're meant to be, we venture towards that pleasure. We don't like the pain behind it, So a lot of people just honestly aren't willing to pay the price for the promise that's there.
The why is not there. The why is not big enough. And everyone thinks it's such a cliche to say about your why. Well, remember the story of me bursting the button off my shirt? My why got real fucking big because I didn't want to, and I still put that shirt on just to see how I feel in it because that's my fat test shirt. If I get in this shirt and I feel comfortable, then I'm like, okay, I'm back to where I want to be. My fat test has been concluded. And
we set up one of those for my college roommate and the people that he would bring back to the anyway. So I agree with you though. There's actually 2 bunk beds that we moved closer together just to see what would happen. But
we're not supposed to have.
I thought it was you must fit into this Baby Gap T-shirt to enter this dorm.
No, it was legit. You had to fit through the 2 bunk beds. But anyway, so.
Oh my
so
God.
for me personally, my personal philosophy, like I agree with the whole big why origins. I don't agree with people who sit there and say my why isn't big enough. My why isn't clear enough. Like what I don't agree with is people using that as a vice to not push themselves to get better.
Yes.
Because I hear that so much, dude. Like, well, I don't have a why.
Using the big why as an excuse not to get better. Okay.
No, that it's not big enough. Like I don't have a dream big enough so I can't get to where I want to be. That's bullshit.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, a why is not bursting another button off of your shirt, so I work out more and I eat better food, and over time I see a reduction, right? I'm not trying to cure cancer, but if that was my big why, guess what? I'd be learning everything about curing cancer, and because of my, knock on wood, someone that I love would have it, and I would come to, and I would be able to help them. That's a big why. But so is not wanting to feel like the fat kid in class, because mentally that brings me down, and I don't perform at my peak level when I don't feel well, so I take massive action to cure that. I mean, it's that simple.
Okay.
And that's,
All right. I kind of get that. That's interesting. I want to hear more of what Andy has to say about that, but I get where he's coming from. I think he got dumped off, and he'll be jumping on.
Shoulder rolled off. I'm like, it's just you and
shoulder
me.
rolled off.
Is there supposed to be someone else here with us?
Yeah, there's supposed to be someone else. Yeah, Andy got cut off, and I think he's jumping back on. But anyway, that is an interesting perspective, because if there's anything that you and I run into, Greg, when attempting to coach people to success, sometimes unsuccessfully, I would say, in our opinion. That's the one thing that I notice is I jump on the phone with somebody, and I notice this with applicants too that come through and apply for jobs in the podcast production company and stuff like that. Andy says he lost power. So Andy may not be jumping back on with us. So we'll finish the show out, just me and Greg, and we'll put a bow on this nice little motivational episode. But anyway, yeah, so we're going back to the big why, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Sorry, I think is Andy trying to jump back on? I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know. You're more distracted than like a squirrel. Just.
There's like I'm getting Facebook messages. I'm getting like notifications from Blue Jeans and all this stuff. But anyway, point being, we do have to have a why. For the most part, for the major things that we do in life, it has to be tied to something. It has to be a motivation. And you and I notice a lot of, well, it'd be nice to, I'm interested in, I would like to, I should, I need to. Like, I hear this language all the time. Jump on. It's like, well, I'd like to do, 2 to 3 more deals a year. I'm like, okay, so what happens if you don't? Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm like,
nothing.
So, like, what? Like, why do you want to do more deals? Well, I mean, be nice to make more money. I'm like, well, yeah, we'd all love to not change anything and have our results be different and better. Like, I get that. Like, that's called a fantasy. So the interesting thing, I was actually reading something the other day about how to write viral content, and it was written by a guy that's had millions upon millions of views on Quora and his own blog and on Medium, which is a blogging platform, and all this stuff. And you know what it comes down to?
What?
It's personal development porn. People love to read stories of other people who have made massive changes in their life.
Oh yeah, because it's shelf assurance. I mean, we look at it and we're like, oh man, that is so awesome. I can do that. But we see the shiny side of personal development and growth. We don't see the grind, the hustle, the 5 a.m., 4 a.m. wake ups, the going to bed at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, grinding out different products, or reading something, or writing something, or doing something to better yourself. We don't see the missed holidays with the families, or not going out with friends because you're out there doing your hustle. We don't see that side. We only see the successes. And if you're willing to go through the pain, you can then get the gain that you need, and that goes in business and that goes in physical. I mean, there's no difference between the two of them. You will have to do something that is unfun, unsexy, uncomfortable, and scares the shit out of you. But there's the 3 different parts of life. You have your comfort zone, where all of us North American couch potatoes like to stay. You have your stress zone, where you jump into something totally new and you're totally scared. You have no idea what you're going to do. But over time, that turns into your stretch zone, where you're still uncomfortable, but you have a kind of a hold on what to do, and you're moving forward in a different trajectory. And if you're willing to do that, go for it, man. You'll have anything you want in life. But if you want to make excuses, guess what? Every time you make an excuse, you generally get to keep it. And I'm not willing to do that in life anymore on certain things. There's just too much. Hey, Bubba Face is back.
Yeah, we just completely blew power.
Really?
It was the awesomeness of the show was too great for your power grid and that phony city of Philadelphia to handle. All right, Andy, how do people reach out to you, and what are you where would you like people to go to learn more about you right now?
Yeah, so I'm just going to encourage folks to, if you have something that you are either out of alignment with right now, or you need some business guidance or whatever else, honestly, guys, schedule a call with me. You can do that through pillar9coaching.com. So www.pillar9coaching.com. Feel free to schedule a coaching call with me. I won't sell you on anything. I can promise you that. And honestly, how I approach those calls is really just to give you as much value as I possibly can. So, I would encourage you to do that. If you guys would like to email me, I only check email maybe once, twice, 3 times at a most for a week. So Andy at pillar9coaching.com, and I'll leave it at that. Or you can follow me on Facebook.
Wow.
Awesome.
You only check email like 3 times a week?
Yeah, that's it.
Right? Oh, I was checking email
Yep.
as you were just saying that, and I immediately felt guilty. I'm like, oh man, I'm doing it right now.
As well you should, especially since you have somebody handling contract to close for you. Stop that. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right. Guys, let me quickly mention erslivestream.com. That is our buddy Jeff Cohn, who's been on the show multiple times, and we love him to death. So he broadcasts all of his super high-def live trainings on Wednesdays and Fridays. So it's some of the best live training that you can get for either yourself or if you're a team leader or broker for your agents. It's ridiculously cheap. It's $17 a month. It is just absolutely redonkulous how much value you get out of that for $17 a month. It's essentially 8 hours of super high def quality video and audio training on all the best in-depth topics that agents need to succeed. Buyer and listing presentations, how to convert leads, how to work with clients, all the good stuff. So that is at erslivestream.com. And we are rolling out, we're still in the midst of
And the audio sucks?
details of how it ends. So the audio sucks.
Yes, you are in and out, buddy.
All right. Well, tell people how they can contact you. They get it for free.
Yeah.
Join with us.
If you
How
guys
about
don't want to pay anything, just come over and hang out with us on our EXP team, guys. It's really easy. Our EXP, dude, we're growing that team like leaps and bounds. We got some killers, just assassins that are joining our group. They're awesome. Go to bookmcdaniel.com. You see it right now floating in front of your face, right under my name, or next to my name, bookmcdaniel.com. And guys, you have so much value there. We're going to bring up so many awesome things. 2 of the things that I'm going to help you guys put 50 people on each one of your teams when you join up with us. Matt's going to give you a podcasting product that you can turn your Facebook Lives into podcasts and create your own platform. All of our products are free, 2 different, networking or mastermind groups, and the list goes on and on. So come on, Bubba, come on over. Join our team. Come on, do it now. All right, if you're not going to do it, fuck off. No, I'm kidding. I love you. But if you guys do want to do it, please come over. I would love to hang out with you. Matt would love to hang out with you. And I'll even give you his phone number in full if you join the team. That's the real hook, Matt. That's the real hook. He's not even acknowledging me. This is no fun. All right, Matt, put a bow on it. What color do you want to put?
let's do a nice red. What's your color of Pillar 9? I believe it's like
We are black and gold.
You're black and gold?
black and gold. Oh man, I'm way off. All right, let's put a nice gold bow on this, Greg.
A gold bow it is. All right, guys, we love you. This is a Friday. It is a beautiful Friday the 13th. I hope you guys go out there, watch some scary movies, maybe scare the crap out of your spouse or your children, whichever one's funnier, because that's always fun. But we love you. Share this. Have a beautiful, wonderful, blessed, incredible weekend. Matt and I will be back with more incredible guests coming Monday. But as always, guys, until then, peace out, ninjas. We gone.